but I remember, when my father went to prison when I was 7, and, he would call, collect to the house, and he would call to my grandparents' house. And I remember my grandparents and my mom telling me, don't tell him no bad news. He don't need that stress right now. And even growing up when I, got pregnant, don't tell your dad, he don't need that stress right now. And they taught me that his needs were more important than mine. And I carried that for years. And even when I would go visit my dad died in prison after 27 years. And even throughout that 27-year journey of going to visit, to Angola prison, I would still only tell him good stuff. I would never share the trials and tribulations, the bad stuff, the none of that stuff. He didn't need that stress. He was already in a bad position. He was already in prison. And they taught me from a little girl at 7 years old that his needs, desires, and what he needed was more important than mine. And I had to unlearn that, and it took 40 years, to unlearn that my needs were just as important as his. And but I was so complacent in my relationships because of that. I'm not gonna, he had a hard day. I'm not gonna upset him. I ain't gonna tell him about my day. I'm not gonna stress him out. I'm not gonna, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I did the work over the last 5 years. I did so much self work on trying to figure out why I did the shit that I did. Because it wasn't working out. Because if it was working out, I would have been somewhere else in my life. I would have been different in my career. I'd been different in my relationships. But I kept trying to, I kept repeating the cycle. And at some point, it was like, okay, what is wrong? And how can I fix it?
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people don't do. Myself included, honestly. I consider myself a very introspective person, and obviously having a master's in psychology, you have different words to put to different things. And, so my vocabulary when it comes to, you know, self-knowledge and self-awareness is, maybe better than the next person, but there's certain aspects obviously that I'm still repeating that I haven't figured out that key or that thing that, would be the breakthrough, for these certain behaviors. So, we all in that cycle in some way, shape, or form. But I think when we don't, especially when it's things that we know are harmful, things that we know we don't deserve as human beings, that we know we deserve better, I think it's critical.
Facts.
To kind of figure it out.
I mean,
That's
some of us
crazy.
walk on eggshells all the time. I was walking on eggshells in my mama's house, at my grandparents' house, at school, at work. I went to predominantly, white Christian universities. And, I felt like I couldn't be my authentic self at school. I wasn't, I went to, I'm a girl from the hood. I couldn't be around the way, Angie, at school. And when I was at home, I couldn't be educated, Angie. And when I was at home with my mama, I couldn't be me. I had to be, this version of me she wanted. And in my grandparents' house. And it wasn't until I, moved out on my own. And, actually, honestly, it wasn't until I moved away from Texas that I actually could be me. And I wasn't responsible for nobody but me. And a lot of people would say that that's selfish. But you can't pour from an empty cup. If you are broken, damaged, got baggage that you trying to hold on, if you don't know where the hell you going, how can you lead somebody else? If I ain't got nothing to give, I can't give it to Adrian. I can't give it to my grandson. I can't give it to my friends. And so I packed up and I moved 6,335 miles away from home to a place I'd never
That's
been
a lot of
before.
miles, honey.
I moved in with the Eskimos. I'm not supposed to say that. That's actually racist.
Racist.
I moved to Alaska, and I left everything and everybody I'd known and packed up and bought a one-way ticket to Alaska and moved.
Yeah, I've been myself since ever, honey. You was either gonna roll with it or you wasn't. And I'm sorry. I had I had 3 boyfriends in the ninth grade. 2 of them was named Chris. I remember walking down the hall one day, somebody was like, dang, she trying to go through every Chris in the school. But anyway, so after those two and the other one, I think name was Craig or something. But after those three boyfriends in the 9th grade, I thought to myself, these people are really serious about these high school relationships. Like, they don't realize they're kids and they dating kids that are kids. Like, these boys ain't grown. How you gonna be committed to you? He a child. So, from 9th grade on through high school, I ain't think about being nobody girlfriend, because
but how did you have that adult kind of thinking in high school?
I had that thinking in elementary school. I told you, I can remember telling little girls, little white girls, because their parents let them have boyfriends, and now he don't want to be her boyfriend no more in the 3rd grade. And I'm looking like, girl, what's wrong with you? You're the prize. He need to be trying to be with you. You don't need to be trying to get with him. 8 years old. So this is the point at which I decided that I would get a doctorate in psychology, like, because I never forgot that was the child that I was, and I never changed, even to this day, like, at all.
Right.
So I don't know where it came from. My mama, fat, hanging, rolls, stomach, titties, walked around the house butt naked. So if that don't give you the license to be who you gonna be, then I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what, life was life. It was what it was, plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? If things were short, if we didn't have money for everything that we may have wanted, and we weren't even demanding kids, but we understood the fact that it wasn't no whole bunch of money to go around. So guess what? Every year we got school clothes. And guess what? We were grateful. We were thankful. Nothing was ever we just knew it was going to happen. I know I didn't.
Right.
I know I was appreciative. You know what I'm saying? So life was just life. It wasn't no sugarcoating. It wasn't no, fairy tales. It wasn't no roses. It was a bunch of cussing and drinking. You know what I'm saying? But even in the drinking, it wasn't no acting a fool. It wasn't no fighting. It wasn't nobody getting stabbed. It wasn't no violence. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was just life. It was just people living life. And we just had a license. I know I felt I had a license to be whoever I was going to be. And that was it.
I wish I could say the same. In my upbringing, growing up in a Catholic church, participating in that, everything was fake and scripted. Nothing was, everybody, you had to present, this facade of who you were. And then at home, you living in the projects, house in foreclosure, daddy, I got a side mistress, and you got, all kind of extra shit, but at church and at school, you were the such and such family, and you were this, and, you got to go do the debutante ball. And I remember, girl, when I got pregnant, when I was 14 years old, oh my God, that was the talk of the church. Do you hear me? In our Catholic community, and I was in the junior knights and junior daughters, I was the grand lady, and I was pregnant. Oh, girl, they called me everything but a child of God. And I will never forget, my own family members saying, oh my God, what is the family going to think of me? Who the one that's 14 and pregnant and trying to figure this out, me or you? And they're more concerned about what the image of what people would think about them, about me being pregnant, than me being pregnant.
Right.
Missing the whole concept here. But I didn't grow up in a family that was 100% real. We didn't get real till we got grown. Growing up, it was pretend, fantasy. That's where I got my line from, Nikki.
It is. And I am so sorry that I treated you so bad all those years. All that line, baby, because I ain't had no understanding at all.
I had to put on a facade that I was perfect and life was great.
No, perfect is
unrealistic.
Is a myth. First of all, ain't nobody perfect. It doesn't exist. And so Jesus, he was the model, but
what was he? Because we could have a whole topic about that. Because
okay, baby, but what we ain't gonna do is but we ain't gonna do Jesus, honey. Because he was Jesus.
So we're not gonna talk about the Bible. We're not gonna talk about Jesus and how Jesus, I had a wife and kids.
Okay, baby, because he
was just a prophet. But, okay.
Whatever, baby. Jesus, my Lord and Savior, honey. Thank you.
Jesus is not your Lord and Savior.
You.
God is your Savior. Jesus is.
Thank you, Father God. He died for my sins and yours.
Did he die for our sins? You know, really, what happened? Okay, we won't.
Yes, he did. Thank you. He paid the price. He paid the price, so I don't have to. Yes, thank you, Lord. Anyway, so but yeah,
what you think about that?
I ain't gonna read the comments no way. So
I'm gonna read them and I'm gonna respond to every last one of them.
Well, just you, because I ain't gonna respond to none of them, honey. I ain't gonna even look at them. At any rate, but yeah, yeah, it's crazy. We all got work to do. It all comes from somewhere, you know. I be trying to figure out why I snap and cuss people out so quick.
Yeah, let's work on that. Let's work on it. Let's work on it.
Girl, I promise I'll be working on it. But unfortunately, I've been already cut somebody out before. I think maybe I could have handled that in a different way. But for me, it's either I'm gonna cuss you out or you will never hear from me again. So
you know, that's a trauma response, you know. So
yeah, it is. It is because you know what, it just happened. Because you know what, it just happened recently because I'm going to apply my logic to the situation. Okay. And first of all, I don't like it when women or men expect people to read their minds. You cannot read my mind. First of all, my mind is far too complicated of an area for you to try to dissect it and know what it's thinking. Okay. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this English degree that I have in the study of language to articulate very acutely what it is that I mean. Okay. And I'm going to expect you to use your ears to hear what it is that I'm saying. Your response is going to dictate then my reaction. Okay. So you're either going to say, yes, I see what you're saying. I understand. I apologize for, you know, how that made you feel. And, you know, so we're going to work on this. And thank you for letting me know. Or you going to say
to your standard. You're holding.
Yeah, that's exactly. Because who else standard am I going to hold them to?
You got to meet people where they are, though.
No. Yeah. I'm going to leave you where you at for somebody else. I'm going to leave you right there.
And curse them out on your way out the door.
For somebody else to deal with. And guess what? I'm going to sleep in peace. Okay? I'm going to sleep in peace. And I'm not going to feel any way about it because I gave you an opportunity to exhibit to me that this was a situation that you wanted to preserve. When you told me that I'm bullying you, or you told me that you don't, what you're giving me is enough, and if I don't like it, I can find somebody else. And guess what?
I know you're gonna go find somebody else,
baby. Will I find somebody else or not? You will never know because I don't even have to respond. See, that's the thing. They think you're gonna go back and forth. Like I'm not going back and forth.
Okay. Okay. I hear you, but I'm still defending the other people that you expect them to learn. What if they didn't grow up communicating or didn't learn the skills to it? So you just automatically gonna just be like, cut them off. You didn't respond.
Done. 45 years old, baby. If you ain't learned how to talk and listen yet, I ain't the one to teach you.
Oh, you old girl.
I'm
21.
Girl, 45, honey. And anybody I deal with got to be around my same area of age.
Ooh,
so if you don't know how to listen and communicate, have a conversation, I'm not about to try to teach some grown man how to have a conversation. No. And what they don't understand. This is what I want people to understand. Okay. This person that I was talking to, that I'm referring to, we met, we had a great time together. We enjoyed each other's company. He showed me things that I had not seen ever, as far as the level of intelligence, the emotional intelligence in those early days, as far as the caring, just outwardly, no filter, you know what I'm saying, as far as, and so I took that as he really likes me, you know what I'm saying, he really, And so, again, really enjoying each other, but the actions weren't lining up with the words at the end of the day. And so I'm gonna tell you, okay, so what you said, what I heard you say was this, but what you're showing me is this. Okay, I'd have said that. Now we going forward, you're not showing me anything else. Matter of fact, you still telling me one thing. Oh, well, I know we can't see each other that much because I know you're busy. Oh, I'm not really that busy. I haven't done anything all day. Okay, so we haven't seen each other. Oh, well, I'm only one person. I got this and this and this. This is 2 days after you told me you're not that busy. So which one is it? So at any rate, my thing of it is you either gonna respond to me in a way that lets me know we on the same page, or you're gonna be defensive and give me my leave to move around.
So what happens if his actions match up, but his words don't? So say he's not a big communicator and he's not, good with the words, but his actions, match up. He's there showing you, calling you, coming, taking you on dates, all that kind of stuff, but he's not actually able to communicate, effectively to your standards.
I don't care nothing about that. Show me. I don't care nothing about all that. You're going to let me know what I need to know. One way or the other. You're going to let me know. And the words don't mean anything. And they were very nice in the beginning. However, to me, it just all turned out to be BS. So I'm not really sure what he intended to gain. And I'm not saying it was BS, because I think a certain part of him felt everything that he said. I don't feel like he was a disingenuous person. However, I feel like he showed more than he was ready to, or he said more than he was ready to actually act on. And which is fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there was something wrong with him, but I feel like we were not a good match. That's what I was gonna say. People feel like because somebody is unique, that they are special. And that's not always the case. This man showed me we had a unique connection. He was a unique guy. And what we experienced was unique, but it wasn't special. Because, baby, trust me, honey, they all unique in some way. You know what I'm saying? This other one that I've been trying to get rid of for the last year and a half, is very unique, in a different way. And trust me, some of the ways are very good. Some of them ain't. But they just different, they're unique individuals that, it may not be another experience exactly like that one around the corner, but trust me, it's another experience around the corner. Any two ways you halfway cute. I don't care if you are got some extra layers.
No, I totally understand that. I dated a guy one time who his actions nor his words were really what I needed, but I didn't accept it at the time, right? And so don't be looking like that. You're looking like, well, why wouldn't?
Why? I'm like, if he wasn't showing you actions or words, what was he doing? He was just there.
Yeah. I mean, he was more than just him, but like he was doing it to the best of his ability. And I remember calling him out on it and saying, hey, mister, I want this and I need this, and he was like, I'm giving it to you. It's the only way I know how. And I thought I did it. And he thought that the things that he was doing was really showing up. But as I've gotten, better in my mature years, of communicating about what I need and what I expect, he was like, but I did that. I ain't never did that for nobody. And I was like, that's not the measuring stick. But he would be like, I thought I did what I thought was right. And it wasn't enough. But because
so at this age, I don't know how long ago that was, but at this age, would that be acceptable?
No, not. I agree with you. What you said about not teaching somebody. I'm not teaching no grown man how to treat me, love me, respect me, none of that. If you don't know how to do it, I blame you, mama, and we keep it pushing. I'm not in
and you know what?
Business.
Right. And you don't even have the skills. Even if you did, I think that once you are committed to somebody, that's different. You know, once you got in a marriage with somebody, or you know, you are, but I'm just talking about dating. You know, we ain't gonna get to the point of no commitment if you're not showing me that the needs that I have, you're willing and able to meet those needs. That's how I wound up in the relationships that I've been in. It wasn't because I laid out no red carpet for nobody. It was because we got along. Right. We was out these, you know, baby, we got along, we partied, we kicked it, we
might have been there once or twice.
Baby, you hear me? But aside from that, we had an understanding. You know, if I said something, you listen. And the relationships that I've had that really went somewhere, those men were able to say, these are the areas that I do need help in. These are the things that I have learned or I can learn, you know? And so, I mean, that goes way back to my very first adult relationship. You know, he would say, you know, I didn't have a dad at home. So, you know, I didn't realize I was supposed to take the trash out when I come over here. You know what I'm saying? But baby, guess what? By the time the relationship was over, let Sunday morning come around and it was all change time. He take my car, he get my oil changed, put gas in my car, get my car washed, and bring it back. And we sit in the second bedroom. He would watch his shows. I would sit there with my newspaper, clipping my coupons like an old married couple. He learned his role in the house, and this was my house. Right. He lived with his mama. But and as a part of the partnership, we're gonna understand how to deal with each other. Or we ain't, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Right. So it sounds like to me you really have learned and executed on how to make people level up. Like you can't have Step coming with you. You have Step and you keep it pushing. And I think we all can take a page out of your book though. And set the ground rules. Okay, look, I don't care what happened in the past. You could have not did it for now girlfriend you've ever had. But in this household, the trash gets taken out, the oil gets changed. I expect my car to be full of gas, and I'm gonna cook your food or whatever the expectations y'all, you know, have set for each other is laid out. And it don't matter what happened yesterday. I don't give a shit what you and Susie did and what you and your baby mama did and how your mama raised you. You're here now.
But here's the thing. If it's somebody that you have to drag those things that you expect out of, if it's somebody that you can't hold a conversation with and talk to, and y'all express yourselves to each other like y'all have sense, then it ain't worth it. Because right. Even if he or she, even if she shows you everything that you want to see, trust me, it's for an end. If you got to drag it out of it, it's for an end. Trust and believe. Right. So unless you're willing to deal with this person with or without those things happening, then you don't need to make a commitment, or certainly not a marriage.
Right.
I didn't see all the changes that I would have wanted to see in the end before I got married, and I didn't know if those changes would ever happen.
Right.
You know, the person that I married to hadn't really had a history of, you know, work. You know what I'm saying? Legally. Right. You know what I'm saying? And didn't, you know, I believe that he would, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if he lost a job, I wasn't, oh, this nigga lost another job. No, I was like, that job. You know what I'm saying? You'll right. get another one. You know, it wasn't, your value was not in that. Your value is who you are as a man. It doesn't matter what kind of car you driving, or jewelry you got, or whatever. It's who you are, how you contribute to this household. And it ain't got to be financially. Right now, I mean, at this point, he keep a job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know, girl. I was like,
you know what I'm saying?
I keep up with him more than you do, probably.
yeah. I keep up with him with my son. But as far as anything else, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So but it wasn't because I was, you know, you ain't this, you ain't that. It was because, right. you know, love will get you to the other side. But if you ain't willing to go through that with somebody, then you don't need to, you know, be married or make a commitment to somebody. And it's very difficult. But one thing I think, my end was never to be married.
Right.
That was never, so my end was never to hold on to a man. That was never my end. My end was never to have a man. I never felt completed because I had this other hope. So if you have that as your end, you don't want to listen to me. Okay. Right. Again, it's somewhere in the middle. We admit we somewhere in the middle between right and wrong, honey, good and bad. because it's always that other side. Will I grow old with somebody? I don't know. But will I have peace? I believe I will. That's my end.
Right.
That's my ultimate motivation. Peace in my life. And if I got to be at peace by myself.
And I never thought I'd agree with you on this because, I know we have opposing views when it comes to relationships and, do's and don'ts, but I'm in that place now. I don't have it. And maybe I need to go lay on somebody's couch, but I don't have it, in me. I have given so much of myself to people in the past. It ain't nothing left to give to the next person. So I'm very, very, very low tolerant when it comes to, I know, never thought I would be that person. Hush, don't laugh at me.
But I spit something out. Anyway.
Shut up.
But yeah, that's growth, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point, it is what it is. And you got to understand what your limits are.
Right. And yes, I didn't have limits before. It was all gas, no brakes. It was, whatever, whatever. I was down for whatever. The ride or die chick. I was her. She was me. And then I started getting out the car. Like, where we going? No, I'm all set. I'm not going there. With who all over there? Who all gonna be there? I ask questions now.
I know that's right. But yeah.
But I said
I don't know, like I say, it's good and bad on all sides. I ain't gonna never say I got all the answers. And I often try to, think about what I am showing to my kids. Do I want my daughter to be another version of me? Not really. Which is why, she ain't growing up listening to the type of music I grew up listening to. You know what I'm saying?
I sent her UGK tracks on the cool, like, here,
this part of your education, little girl, grow up.
Right. Never let niggas ride. Oh, sorry.
Right. Man, come on now. How many of y'all ain't never learned that lesson for sure? But anyway, but at the end of the day, would I prefer her being a doormat for somebody? Would I prefer her having somebody in her house that, that have her walking around on eggshells? No. I would prefer her if it's between, being in a loving relationship or being in somewhere where she can't be herself. No.
Right.
I'd rather her be by herself, just like I am.
Right.
So it's a give and take.
You have a young daughter. I have an old daughter. And what I can attest to is that you honestly have no idea the seeds that you're planting, what they're going to grow into until
yes, indeed,
she gets into that first relationship, and then you can see, wait a minute, hold on, come here, wait, that ain't what mama talked to. But but you can only hope that you give her the tools to be able to work through whatever it is, she goes through, because, she might fall in love with, Lord forbid, a person of, can I say that? No, I ain't gonna say that.
Person of what?
That's non-melanated, somebody that don't have no in the skin. I don't want to.
My personal feelings aside about that, huh?
I was telling my fans I didn't want to alienate them. They can't use the comb. They can't come home. No,
baby. You already know. I mean, at the end of the day, my sister is the longest marriage in my family, and her husband white as he can be. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Huh?
He kind of black though.
Uncle Gary, right? he white and skin only.
He all right with me.
Oh, he did. He sure did. Yeah, he white and skin only. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't care. And I ain't gonna lie, I have entertained one or two non-melanated. However, it didn't work out. I don't think I'm just necessarily built that way, personally.
You know what? I want to talk about that. Dating.
Okay, on to the next show.
Dating outside of our race.
Right.
I can't do it. I should. I'm not racist. I'm black. I can't really be racist, but I'm not prejudiced. I don't have any ill-conceived notions about it. I guess, what would we talk about? What happens if I play music and they say the N-word? Like, I don't know what happens if his family doesn't like me, you know, and Papa call me, you know, the N word when I come over for Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know. Culturally, I don't know how that would work. And I don't know about pink meat.
Okay, I ain't gonna say my personal thoughts on it. However, I will say that the interactions that I've had with situations outside of my race, um, that I'm not gonna say they didn't work out because of the cultural differences, but I will say that they didn't work out. None of them, and many of them. You know what I found, especially with meeting people online. One thing that I found is that we are still the objects of fetishes. We are still not looked at the on the same level as, you know, I just refuse to believe that the white men that I've met online would approach a white woman in the way that they've approached me.
Fact.
First of all, you know what I'm saying? They quickly let it be known the fetishes that they have, or, you know, the strange that they want to do, or, you know what I'm saying? And so with me, again, not wanting to judge somebody too quickly, you know what I mean? Not wanting to just automatically ignore you because of your skin color. I'm gonna give you the same hey, how you doing, as I give everybody else, and then see where you take it. And 99 times out of 100, you're gonna take it somewhere real retarded real soon. Mm-hmm. So that's just the experience that I've had. Now, the 1-2 relationships that I've had, and when I call them relationships, I mean barely, like barely. One of them was somebody I went to high school with who was white, but I always dated black women. Okay, this story kind of sad. Why he break up? Why he break up with me? Tell me he was going back to his wife on Valentine's Day.
Who was that?
Girl,
you got a soundtrack right there. There's an audio.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust it even her face. She always doing something. Put the food up quietly. Can I have another cookie?
She's trying to make her debut on our show. I'm gonna charge her to be a co-host.
I don't want to be on the show if I'm not making no dough.
Why is she talking? I got a belt on. Dang, I took my belt out, my pants off the head.
Look,
the belt
beep. We going to commercial. Don't beat the kids out.
I need a belt. Dang, never have a belt when I need one.
Jesus.
Anyway, but Geneva, say another word.
So, like I was saying, that I am. I've never dated somebody outside my race, but I'm open. So if you are willing to date Angie, contact us below.
They trying to figure out what's outside your race, because you look somewhere in the middle right now. You looking real somewhere in the middle right now.
Make no mistake, somewhere in the middle, fans. I am a black woman from the South. I'm not going to claim any other. Well, except on my Tinder profile, I claim them all because I did the 23andMe. But that's beside the point.
I need to see your 23andMe because I'm not convinced at all.
I mean, I might. I'm actually Nigerian. I am Nigerian and British.
Wow. So what did you just tell everybody?
That I'm a black woman.
No, it's not what you just said. But okay.
I did say I'm a black woman.
Okay. You somewhere in the middle.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm black. Yeah. When the police pull me over, I'm a black woman. I had
that ain't no lie.
As a black
that ain't no lie, honey.
When I fill out the census form, I select African American.
Okay, girl.
I vote Democrat. Ain't that what Joe Biden said? You ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. No.
What they got to do with anything?
That was such a delay. I was like, no, I'm a black woman. I'm a little light-skinned. I live out here in Boston, Massachusetts, where I don't get any sun, but I will be going on vacation shortly. Yes, I'm going to take a COVID test, so don't ask no questions. Jesus. Don't travel shame me. But I'm going to go lay on somebody's beach.
And don't travel shame me either, because I just ordered my vacation mask, honey.
I'm gonna lay on the beach and get tan. I'm gonna be as dark as Nikki when this is over with.
Negative.
We'll let our viewers
Negative.
decide. Did Angie get a tan? Well, good night, folks. That is all from Somewhere in the Middle tonight.
Absolutely.
We've given you an earful.
You hear me truly. We're going to cut this up in several segments.
They want to see it all at once. They can take it all at once.
Okay.
They can't. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the segments that Nick is going to chop it up in. You going to hit stop?
Nope. I don't have a stop button.
It's a